Truth never dies when the world is calling you. Can you hear it rising through the lies? Truth never dies. It becomes a part of you. Every time you fight for what is real, relentless, you survive. They never lose hope when the shadows grow long and the deceit runs strong. Truth never dies when the world is calling you. Can you hear it screaming out your name? Truth never dies. It becomes a part of you. Every time you bleed for speaking greatness, relentless, you survive. When the world is calling out your name, begging you to fall, pick yourself up once more. Pick yourself up. Truth never dies when the world is calling you. Can you hear it screaming out your name? Truth never dies. It becomes a part of you. Every time you bleed for speaking greatness, truth never dies. Truth never dies when the world is calling you. Truth never dies. Pick yourself up once more. Pick yourself up. Truth never dies when the world is calling you. Can you hear it screaming your name? Truth never dies. It becomes a part of you. Every time you bleed for speaking greatness, truth never dies. Truth never dies. Yeah, relentless. You survive. Truth never dies when the world is. Truth never dies.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. Get your radio sets, get your headphones, get your popcorn in, because now it is your host of this podcast, CJ here on the Moment of Truth, guys. Now we're going to talk about a lot of things here on the Moment of Truth. And part of those things that I feel like that first of all, welcome everyone to another episode, Moment of Truth. I'm your host, CJ Mondo. Today's episode isn't about championships, isn't about ratings, isn't about who won and lost a match. Today we talk about something that has damaged countless colleagues, friendships, and communities over the years. We're talking about toxicity. This episode isn't meant to attack anyone. It isn't about calling people out by name or creating drama. It's helping people recognize unhealthy behavior, protecting themselves, and building stronger communities. If you're new to the call industry, this episode is for you. If you've been doing this for years, you probably experience every single thing we're about to discuss. Let's get in to this. We're going to go in the first segment here. And this segment is going to be a touchy subject. I kind of feel like that in order to do this, we got to have my co-host. In other words, Roman Reigns would say his right-hand man. I got to have a right-hand man here on this podcast. So, without further ado, I invited him on this podcast because I feel like that this needs to be out. But anyways, going back to the segment, what is toxicity? People hear the word toxic all the time. But what does it actually mean? Toxicity is any behavior that slowly destroys a community. Here's the thing that's people are going to hate about this podcast, but I'll be glad to speak my voice. The voice of the voiceless. This is going to be a hell of a podcast to tune into because now I'm going to give you what destroys the community. It's bullying, manipulation, constant negativity, spreading rumors, trying to divide locker rooms. It's making fake friendship to gain power. It's trying to control people. Every colleague has failed at some point, but forgot one thing. Respect matters. A community without respect eventually falls apart. And here's the biggest issue with what I'm trying to say throughout this. There's been some e-feds that I've joined that has fake friendships to gain power. There's some e-feds I joined that spreaded rumors. There's been e-feds that I joined, manipulation, bullying, dragging my name in the dirt for years. For years. But now I got me a mic, so you might as well just get ready because this podcast is going to be all nothing but Mondo for about here shortly until I get this off. And then I can bring DJ in. But here's the facts that I really hate about the call community for years. You hate me because I speak my mind. You hate me because I'm not fake as some of you phonies sitting in the room. You're mad at me because I speak my mind and I'll tell it like it is, and you can't stand it now, can you? But before we get into this topic, there's going to be a lot said because, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Moment of Truth, it's about to get extra spicy on this episode. So you might as well buckle in, because we're gonna dig our hands in gold and get rich, baby, because the truth is gonna overflow. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to bring the chaotic truth to this moment of truth. DJ Chaotic has entered the booth.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? There's some things I have to really get off my chest about this situation, because
But here's
I
the
think
thing.
motherfuckers need to hear the cold, hard facts.
Before you say anything, DJ, I want to make sure that there's no names on this podcast.
Oh, no names at all. No names at all.
Now, I've already gave my, segment 1, what is toxicity, and I explained it in like different forms. It's bullying, manipulation, constant negativity, spreading rumors, trying to divide locker rooms, fake friendship to gain power, controlling people. So, DJ, I want to hear from you. What do you think toxicity means to you? Means that you see around the EFED world that people has been doing this for years, trying to attack people and try. The biggest pet peeve I have with this community is they say they are your friends, right? But they say they want to be a part of the brotherhood, but they can't be a part of the brotherhood because they can't do things the right way.
Exactly. And the funny thing about this is this, and I'm hoping everybody is listening to this whole outlook here that I have, because I really do have a lot of things that really grinds my gears when it comes down to this. First things first, let's get the elephant out the room here. You want people in your Fed, but somehow, some way, you always have certain individuals that like to pop off at the mouth, spread this, spread that, say this, say that. Oh, can't get this person, can't get that person. At the same time, why are we coming together trying to change the narrative of things, bring a bigger perspective to the table here, but at the same time, you got your shady tactics behind the scenes. You got your own twisted manipulation game for everybody that's on your roster to not get along with those individuals that want the same thing you want. If you get what I'm saying, CJ. Because in most cases,
I'm glad you said that, DJ. I don't mean to interrupt you here, but this segment's going to go right along with what you talk about. Because segment 2 is red flags to watch out for. Some people don't show their true colors immediately. Sometimes they act friendly. Sometimes they compliment everyone. Sometimes they pretend to support you, but eventually their true intentions come out. Watch for people who constantly gossip. They talk bad about people behind their backs. In other words, this could be in a group chat that you don't think they would talk about you. They could wait till you don't even know that it's going on. And it could be on Messenger. It could be on Twitter. It could be on Instagram, Discord, whatever the case may be. They talk
any big social media platform you use. Because here's the thing. They want to use you to basically gain viewership with their channel. Case in point, we both have channels. We've grown our channels through real supporters. But you have that one little supporter that likes to constantly come into your chat, share a link in your chat, and then expect people to tune off you to go to them. That's not right. Because at the same time, how are you building the followership and subscribers if you're pulling people from other channels? That's kind of like the shadiest tactic of all, and wonder why your show is not getting the viewership it deserves. I hate when people do that because it shows your true intention that you may want your show to be the best show, but you're not showing the support to others. Why are we not coming together as a unit? Because egos get in the way of so much. Your ego and your manipulation gets in the way of why we can't have a united car community or EFED community. These shows out here use manipulation and backstage tactics to not get the viewers to come to you. There's where the problem lies. If you want truth, show it by
Here's the
coming
biggest-
to support.
Here's the biggest thing that I'm going to say. Another thing is the people you need to watch out for is only talk to owners when they want something and play victim every time they held accountable.
Bingo. You just hit the nail on the coffin, CJ. You just hit the nail on the coffin.
How many people would we see in today's EFED, call wrestling that is, every time that they held accountable for their actions, they run and try to play victim?
See, here's the thing. That's the crazy part to that. And I've seen it on constant basis. When you put up a post, you ever notice how everybody likes to put up a post to outshadow your post? That kind of feels like manipulation to your community and your chat to say, okay, he's not running a good show. I'll show him what a show is really like. At the same time, your backstage tactics is killing the person that you're trying to help build. This is not a successful thing. Because at the same time, why are you going behind our chats to overshadow your show? You know what I mean, CJ?
Yep. And here's
That
the big
same overshadowing kills everybody else's productivity.
Here's the biggest thing also. Here's the biggest thing that I noticed that it's pretty much needs to be said. People who you should be careful around. These certain personalities you'll meet eventually. They attention seekers. Everything has to be about them. The manipulator, they tell different stories to people. The drama starters, if there's peace, they create conflict. The fake supporter, they congratulate you publicly and criticize you privately. The opportunist, they're the only real, they're the only ones around when things benefit them. Learn how to recognize these behaviors.
And one of the biggest ones I'll say is this. The person who says he's real, who says he wants to be a supporter, come congratulate you and all that, is the same person that's stealing talent and viewers from your channel. You got to watch out for the snakes. The snakes are the worst ones of them all because these snakes like to spew the lies, spew the drama, use you as the crutch to build them.
And here's
Like-
the thing that I'm going to say, DJ. I don't mean to cut you off here, but I'm
No
gonna get
problem, no problem.
into segment 4 here. The gossiper, the gossiper, I'm going to get in the gossiper a little bit more detail. This person always had inside information. They message you saying, don't tell anyone I told you this. They spend hours about talking about everyone else. Here's the problem. If they gossiping to you, they're probably gossiping about you. Gossip destroys trust. It divides locker rooms. It creates unnecessary drama. Communities don't collapse overnight. It slowly falls apart when gossip replaces communication. And there's a lot of people that I know that that definitely has inside information that loves to use it against you, but at the same time, these people, that's the gossipers, they the ones that's your biggest drama causers because they can't keep their mouth shut.
Exactly. The same ones that do that are the ones going into these other e-feds trying to tarnish your name. Do this, do that. At the same time, we don't know if you're real or if you are a fake Mayan manipulator behind the scenes.
Going back to this gossiper, I'm gonna highlight this so you guys can see this. I'm gonna do this while DJ's talking. So go ahead, DJ. I'm gonna.
Now, I'm gonna say this with the utmost truth here.
Inside information, and notice I put that around quotation marks. And it says here the person always has inside information. So they have people watching you and telling everything about you, but they don't want to be in your chats. They leave the chats because it may be the fact that they have something that they, for example, you may have somebody in your chat that they want to get rid of and they side with their enemies. So you can actually, have to choose a side, either go to the left or go to the right.
One big thing about this inside information leads into what I'm about to say here. And I know you may agree with me on this, CJ. A certain thing we like to call favoritism. They have certain e-feds have their favorites. These favorites are their spies, their inside sources. These inside sources are the cause of what breaks down most chats in e-fed. You got to watch these individuals exponentially.
I'm going to get into this because I'm going to bring up a good point here on this podcast. And boy.
And you can't say I'm lying when I say that.
You're not lying, DJ. You're 100% right on point, but I'm about to bring something. I guess you could say this in the words of John Cena. See you fourth wall, because we're about to break the fourth wall on air. But we're going to the attention seekers. Also, before we go to the attention seekers, we also are going to go down to the fake friend. We're going to hit two at once. Some people don't care whether the attention is positive or negative. They just want attention. They start arguments, post dramatic status updates, threaten to quit every month, return a week later, repeat the cycle again. Communities shouldn't revolve about one person's need for attention. Now, and the reason why I say this goes with the fake friend. I'm about ready to tell you why here. The fake friend. This one hurts the most. They laugh with you, celebrate with you, support you publicly, but privately, they criticizing your work, question your leadership, trying to convince others to leave your league. Real friends celebrate your success. Fake friends compete with it. So, in other words, these two are cooperating with one another. The seeking attention.
They go hand in hand.
Hand in hand. These two are like powerful. You got to break these two up, set them aside, cancel them out of the EFED, kick their ass out of the curb, and shut that door and tell them they can't come back. That's what you got to do.
Like, and here's the biggest thing about that, CJ. Some people got to learn how to read the room. If you can't read the room, you will never know these things if you're not reading the room.
You know, here's another one that I'm going to bring up. And I know DJ's got his hands in the cookie jar with the two I brought up, but this one's actually important. It goes right along with it. It's called the secret screenshot collector. Some people save every conversation, not try to protect themselves, but use it later. When the argument happens, the suddenly post months old screenshots to embarrass people. Private conversation should remain private unless there's a genuine safety concern. Respect confidentially.
You just hit the nail on the coffin, and that kind of has a huge red flag written around it, CJ. As these conversations should be between said individuals, but these conversations get out and they use them against you because, they think that these things are going to hinder your productivity. At the same time, you're sitting up here clearing your name on these things. At the same time, the person that's spreading it out is assuming and making an ass out of himself. Don't be the one to make an ass out of yourself. You got to learn how to adapt with the situation at hand. And listen to that word more carefully, ladies and gentlemen. Adapt to the situation at hand. Because if you're not built to adapt, you'll fail miserably. And I've known a lot of things in this community. People have the tendency to hold these grudges and not willing to work them out with that person. Same thing could be said with this. You can't be Captain Save-A-Hole at certain situations that you think that you can resolve an issue. Every issue can't be resolved over in that one sitting. These take time.
Add with this, and DJ is pretty much hitting them every time I'm trying to type. DJ's hitting this right on the fucking dot like a fucking machine gun going off. The dues for every call member. Check mark for number one. Treat people with respect, even when you disagree. Just like he said, when you have a problem and you can't settle it out, respect that other person. Doesn't mean you have to talk to them. Doesn't mean you have to like them. Doesn't mean you have. That's the biggest thing in call.
Because there are so many people in this EFED industry today that can't resolve an issue that happened back in whatever the case may be.
And here's another thing that I want to try to get through with this, because I know you got a lot to say. The second check mark is support creativity instead of tearing it down. Third check mark, handle disagreements privately whenever possible. Fourth check mark, think before posting when angry. Fifth check mark, welcome new members. Sixth check mark, encourage others to improve. Seventh is accept constructive criticism. Eighth is be honest. 9 is keep your word. 10 is represent your lead with professionalism. 11 is remember there is real persons behind every screen name. And 14th is build friendships based on trust, not gossip.
And one of the biggest things I'm going to add to this, CJ, is the number one pet peeve I have. Learn how to break character when character is not required.
Yep.
Because if you are constantly in character, and we're talking other situations in the chat, like wrestling, regardless, or sports, IRL, movies, whatever the case may be, and you're constantly in character trying to pursue your quest for whatever championship you're going after, you got to learn to separate character versus IRL. And some people do not know how to break that narrative. I feel like the worst possible thing in call right now is people do not know how to break character. People don't know how to separate character from IRL talk. And that is the number one problem in these call chats I'm seeing. Nobody can separate character from IRL.
We're going to get into the don'ts for every call member, and I'm gonna get into a lot of them. The first don't is don't bully or harass others. The second one is don't spread rumors you can't verify. Third is don't leak private conversations just to embarrass somebody. Fourth, don't demand championships or special treatment. 5, don't create fake accounts to stir up trouble. 6, don't recruit members through lies or manipulation. 7, don't threaten to quit every time things don't go your way. 8, don't attack people personally because of disagreements. Don't let your egos become bigger than a community. And don't encourage hate campaigns or dogpiling against one person. And then the last main reason, don't become the reason people stop enjoying this hobby. Bingo.
And every one of those are accurate facts, CJ. But I'm going to bring up the ultimate one that I've been seeing in chats as of these recent situations that happen. Number one rule I always have: do not attack women or children in promos. The number one thing I've been noticing with certain individuals is, why are we attacking women and children if they're not a call-related character? Why are we going after the IRL side of this character? That's the number one pet peeve that kills most E-Feds today, is going after women and children as a whole. That is one of the things that I cannot stand. I know you probably agree with it too, CJ. And I wanted to bring that up because people need to understand, you don't attack women and children. I don't care how the fuck you feel. Don't attack women and children. That can get your ass blacklisted immediately. Don't be that person that comes in the call thinking that you are entitled to every fucking thing. Nobody is special in this community. You gotta earn what you get. I don't give a fuck how the fuck you feel. I don't want to have to continuously sit here and address somebody in another chat, and you don't take this constructive criticism I'm giving you because of X, Y, and Z reasons, and your attitude is getting in the way of personal differences. And that is the number one thing I can't stand with the car community is people allow their attitudes to dictate what the fuck is right. And I know you can't stand that situation as well too, CJ.
Yep, I definitely agree with you.
That is the number one top thing that I've been seeing in the car as of late. People's attitudes and egos get in the way of resolving issues. Your attitude is going to get you into a world of hurt and a blacklist, and you're going to be on the blacklist, but that you can't come back from.
So
This whole outlook,
here's
you got
the
to
thing that
chin
I
check
wanna-
you.
Here's the thing that I want to ask, DJ.
Lay it on.
I know you've been seeing this in the chat as well, and I know that I got my own answer for this, and you got your own answer for this. But why do you think people has to gain up on one person than rather trying to understand them? In other words, why is it okay to hate on one person for them knowing the truth, then them attacking them, then you got people to attack them and pretty much just take their side and make everybody go against that one person. So in the question that I'm trying to ask is this. What's your thoughts or opinion on this subject that we're talking about? Why people has to literally surround one person and literally like try to attack him from all angles because maybe that one person may know the truth about all these people and they don't want that truth to be heard. You got the floor to answer that.
Here's my thought on that situation. Now, I've been around so many situations that I personally have had this exact thing happen to me. And I'll put it in perspective in a way that people can understand. I have my beliefs on and different and reasons for what I believe in and what I stand for. If people cannot see that same outlook or same reasoning with that person, like why would you have a chat with X, Y, and Z members of this community or that community? But why are we bringing these communities into play in a car-based chat that has to deal with wrestling? Like, why are we bringing certain topics of LGBTQ and this over here and this over here in a chat? And this is why you feel like you are the oddball in these conversations, that you don't know the whole situation behind it, right, CJ?
Yep.
At that same time, you got people saying, oh, we got this conversation about this movie, we got this conversation about this movie, and everybody's in agreement. But when you get that oddball conversation that nobody talks about, this is where they gang up on you. And that same gang mentality is what kills your mindset and beliefs on what you stand on. You get thrown down the drain. And I hate the fact that you got these individuals who swear they know everything, but don't stand on what that person believes in. You feel me? Like if you say you are a military vet, you stand on everything the military believes in. You stand on everything, every principle that the military code is, the guidelines and restrictions behind it. But then you got this other person that don't have those same standards and beliefs of what you are building to your chat and foundation. They like to have people attack you just for that reason alone. I mean, why do we have these individuals that like to sit here constantly on a constant basis and feel like they're entitled to whatever they believe in. Why can't we all be on the same page and agree to disagree? I mean, you have people right now that can't even accept the joke in these E-Fed chats, and you want to make fun and livelihood and all that. I get it. But at the same time, there's a time and place for everything. That same time and place for everything. And then you wonder why you may lose X, Y, and Z person that attacked you, that attacked that person. You bring those people back in the chat and they leave again, wondering why, oh, the reason why we left is because the so-and-so don't have the core beliefs of what we believe. You can't sit there and say, oh, you want this person to believe in your beliefs. At the same time, you're not giving them a reason or valid understanding on how to take that belief into consideration. This is why there are a lot of E-Fed chats that spew narrative-minded bullshit, but don't keep it real with everybody in general. You want a core foundation group, but in that core foundation group, there's always one individual that fucks it up for everybody else. You can't make a friend because his beliefs don't match yours. I can't stand that, CJ. If you got people that have these core values, everybody has to understand their core values and adapt to those values. That's why me and you can get along with one another, because we can share something in common. Find that common goal and bring that to the table with everybody else that share that same belief. This is why there's so many egos and driven things that breaks the car community up. This is why E-Feds can't seem to see eye to eye, because everybody's beliefs is so different. This is why we can't unite. And I feel like that's the number one problem in the community today, is that everybody has a different belief in what they see and what they vision. We all can't come together to see the same thing.
I'm going to say this because I think this needs to be mentioned here on this podcast as well. Good leaders should also listen to feedback, admit when they're wrong, and be willing to improve. At the same time, if your goal is to encourage respect, honesty, fairness, and teamwork, don't be discouraged, because not everybody's going to agree with you. Leadership isn't about being liked by everybody. It's about doing what's right for the community, even when it's not the easiest path. If you want a healthy call community, be consistent. Treat everyone fairly. Listen before you judge. Hold everyone to the same standards. Celebrate creativity. Encourage new members. And remember that every profile is a real person. Communities become stronger when people choose respect over rumors, teamwork over division, and solutions over drama. If we're more focused on building each other up instead of tearing each other down, the entire call community would be a better place. And that's the moment of truth.
And here's the one thing I'll say right now. And this is where I'm going to get everybody's attention on this one. What are you going to be in this call community? Are you a follower, or are you a leader by example? Because we have leaders in this community that stand on business. At the same time, you got your code of followers that those are the ones that's breaking this community down. And those followers is what's killing the vision and goals we stand on, CJ. Don't be a follower. lead by example. Because if we don't lead by example, we'll never have unity. And that's real facts. Me and CJ have a common bond here. We want to lead by example. We want to see this community grow. We want to see this community succeed in every way, shape, or form. But we have those followers that don't want to listen and heed to the advice that we are giving them. You followers are what's killing the community today. And I'm going to break that down more on the Reality Check podcast, so stay tuned for that video, because we are going to I'm going to really dive into the narrative of followers and leaders. If you're not leading by example, your community is dead before you even started.
So I'm going to say this, and this is a poem that I wrote, DJ, and this is a long-ass poem, so I hope you guys got your thing into tuition. It's called Love is Bigger Than Hate, and I wrote this myself. I hope you guys enjoy this. Like, subscribe, comment about this, by the way. But it goes out saying, hate shouts from the mountaintops, but love echoes through eternity. Hate burns like wildfire, leaving only ashes behind. Love rises like the sunrise, breaking every shadow with its light. Hate builds walls, love builds bridges. Hate divides hearts, love unites souls. Hate seeks revenge, love offers grace. The loudest voice is not always the strongest. The strongest heart is the one that chooses kindness when bitterness seems easier. A championship can be won, a title can be lost, a legacy can be forgotten, but every single act of compassion can live forever. Every word you speak becomes a seed. Plant hatred, and you'll harvest loneliness. Plant love. The generations will remember your name. The world has enough anger, enough gossip, enough division, enough people trying to tear another down. But the one who lifts up, but the one who stands when everyone else walks away, but the one who forgives when the revenge is applauded, but the one who chooses peace when the chaos is calling. But love is not weakness. Love is courage. Love is strength. Love is fair. Love is hope. Love is the greatest victory a person can achieve. When hate writes its story, let your life become the page that changes the ending. When darkness believes it is won, become the light that refuses to surrender. When the voices cry out for division, be the heartbeat of unity. For kingdoms rise, empires falls, championships gather dust, crowd grows silent, but love outlives every trophy. Love outlasts every storm. Love outshines every shadow. Love outstands every enemy. Love outlives every generation. So your legacy will never be measured by how many battles you fought, but how many hearts you've healed, not by many people you defeated, but how many people you inspired. Never by how loud you hated or how deeply you loved. And when your final chapter is written, may the world remember not your anger, not your pride, not your victories, but the love you gave when hate demanded the final word. Because in every generation, in every community, in every battle between darkness and light, love has always been, love is, and love forever will be bigger than hate.
That's facts. Straight facts. Good one right there, CJ, for sure. I think that needs to be shared across all EFED chats. I feel like that needs to be a picture that needs to be put out in chats, and that message needs to be delivered. Because right there, love should be more valued than hate. If you hate, you are the number one problem in the car community. People who hate are literally self-centered individuals that are greedy for their own personal gain. And that same personal gain hinders the car community growth. Why be greedy when you can congratulate and achieve those that set goals, set a foundation, guidance, understanding? Because these things should be valued more in the car community. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding. That same knowledge and wisdom you're learning from other eFed owners, you can adapt, you can put that into your structure. Without structure, where are we in the eFed industry, CJ?
Exactly.
Lost. Not being able to have structure is what lets the inmates run the asylum. And what do you want your eFed to be? Inmates running the asylum, always
Now, before we
demanding
close this episode,
championship.
there's another thing I gotta say, DJ. I don't mean to cut you off, but you're right on the nail there. But you're forgetting one ingredient to that recipe. You gotta have your structures. You got that right. But you also have to have the understanding, the fundamentals and understanding of how to be a successful call creator and a call promoter at the same time, to understand the difference between both worlds, so you can know the difference between the toxicity and the positivity. Because the toxicity, we've already explained what it is. And I feel like there's nothing needs to be explained about that. But the moral of this story is be positive and don't lead down that road where it's going to be toxic and hate on people. Because here's the thing that I'm trying to get out, and I'm going to try to close this show out with the song. But life's too short to hold grudges. Life's too short to be hating on somebody, especially if, let's say, if that person dies tomorrow. What is your last words to them going to be recognized, or going to be realized that you said that you can never take back? Be careful what you say on the internet. Be careful what you say to people in general. Be careful what you do to people on the internet, because one day you may never get to see them again.
Big facts.
It's
Appreciate though, and if you're new to the car industry, come talk to those individuals that have been on the roster. Get to know them. Have understanding. Everything ain't gonna be perfect at the first time you come in the car. But don't show your greedy side when you come into this industry. That's a fact. You want to stand out like a sore thumb. I get it. But there's levels to everything in car. Talk to these owners that's been around for years. They're your guidance. They're your leaders. Don't be around followers. Followers are going to get you in trouble. Lead by example, ladies and gentlemen. That's the key thing. Lead by example.
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have. I want to thank DJ and as well as myself for being on this podcast. And we will see you guys on the next episode here on The Moment of Truth. But also, stay tuned for Titan Nation Alliance Monday Night Inferno. Still working on it as we speak through the PlayStation. So,
also, for those that are tuned in to me, there will be an episode 1 of WCW Thunder coming. Stay tuned for that as well.
And we're going to head out of here, guys. with the theme song that brought us in, When the World Never Dies. Truth never dies.
Truth never dies.